Don't bother with slacking. That is my main message for today. Slacking's getting a lot of hype. It's not living up to the hype at all. So as we should all know by now, slacking has massive max CP. It's 4,500 something max CP, and I know it can be tempting to power it up because you want to see a really high number, but performance-wise, it's just not there. Slacking's only quick move is Yawn, and Yawn deals absolutely 0 damage. Actually, it deals like 1 damage because of the way the damage formula works, but it deals almost no damage at all. So all of Slacking's damage output comes from its charge moves, and that's not good at all. Like, think about when you're battling a Pokemon in a gym. How many times does it actually use its charge move before it faints? Once? Twice? That's the only time Slacking is ever going to deal damage to you. One Redditor named Lady Mormon 2 posted a screenshot of her Machamp, and this is how much damage it took after battling a Slacking 3 times. Enough times to defeat the Slacking. 3 battles with a 4,500 CP Slacking, and her Machamp took this much damage. It's not good. It's true, it has great stats. Its attack is really high, which is part of the reason why its CP gets so high, and defensively, it's on par with Snorlax. But the truth is, Blissey is really the only Pokemon who has any chance of timing out a weaker attacker. So putting Slacking in a gym as a defender is like putting Snorlax in, only your Snorlax isn't going to deal nearly as much damage. So you're probably better off leaving a Snorlax, or a Blissey, or a Chansey, or a lot of other things. So basically what I'm saying is, think twice before you invest a ton of Stardust, and especially before you invest any like rare candies into a Slacking. Slackoth is rare, Slacking has high CP, Slacking does not live up to the hype. But there are a few Gen 3 Pokemon that I think are worth your Stardust and possibly rare candies if you want to get to them quicker, but you know, Pineapple Berries, take your time. They're not necessarily going to change the metagame. Now, I'm only going to talk about the Pokemon that are currently available from Gen 3. We'll get to the other ones when they actually get released, but the first one, the most important one, I think, and the one I'm most excited for, is Sceptile. Sceptile's a Grass-type attacker. It has great moves in Bullet Seed and Leaf Blade, and Leaf Blade is a 3-bar charge move, and like Dragon Claw, it's quick. And you know I like quick moves. And with 3 bars on the charge move, it's a lot more efficient than a single bar charge move like Solar Beam. So Sceptile is probably going to be my new go-to Grass-type attacker. Next up, Gardevoir. Gardevoir is definitely worth some Stardust. It evolves from Ralts, which is, again, one of the rarest Pokemon that we currently have from Gen 3. But it is going to be the best Fairy-type attacker in the game currently. It's a Psychic and Fairy-type. It can get a double Psychic moveset, but Psychic as a move is not nearly as good as it used to be. So you really want Dazzling Gleam on your Gardevoir. It's going to be a pretty good Dragonite counter, the first like real Fairy-type Dragonite counter. Fairy's also super effective against fighting, so with Confusion and Dazzling Gleam, it'll still be a good counter to Machamp. Although keep in mind, like Sceptile, Gardevoir is a bit of a glass cannon, so you will need to dodge if you're using it in battle. Next up is Hariyama, and it's sort of an alternative to Machamp. It's not necessarily strictly better than Machamp, it's comparable to Machamp. Its attack stat is lower, it gets the same moves, but its defensive stats are a little bit better overall. So it's similar to Machamp, but not necessarily better. It is cheaper than Machamp. It only takes 50 candies to evolve Makuhita to Hariyama, so definitely more affordable. And if you don't have access to Machamp, well, I'm assuming they're probably the same biome, but still easier to get Hariyama than it is to get Machamp. Same moves, similar stats, probably worth powering up if you don't have enough decent fighting type attackers already. And speaking of fighting type attackers, the last Pokemon that we're going to talk about is also a fighting type attacker. Breloom, it's grass and fighting. It does get grass moves. It's outclassed by other grass types. Again, same moves, counter Dynamic Punch, but with Breloom and possibly with Hariyama, my suggestion would be try to find a nice high-level Makuhita or Shroomish in the wild. If you can get out during the right type of weather, you can find boosted versions of these Pokemon up to level 35. If you can find a level 35 Makuhita, Shroomish in the wild, With 15 attack, preferably, you can just evolve them and not invest any Stardust, and they will be perfectly fine fighting type additions to your team for any Tyranitar raids, Absol raids, Blissies in gyms, and you wouldn't have to actually invest any Stardust into them. So that would be my recommendation for these two. For the other ones, Trico, Ralts, I would say those are probably worth Stardust, worth powering up if you can hatch a good one from an egg. And again, with weather boosts, if you find a good one in the wild, evolve it, use it. You don't have to invest Stardust at all. Wait. There's one more. I totally forgot that Blaziken's moves got updated, and it can learn Focus Blast now, which gives it a double fighting type moveset. So it is okay. Again, comparable to Machamp, but not better. Much more of a glass cannon than Machamp. Also, Focus Blast is a slow single bar charge move. The difference between Blaziken and Machamp is Blaziken is also fire type, which gives it a few extra resistances that's going to make it a better choice in certain Tyranitar matchups. It's going to resist both Fire Blast and Iron Tail on Tyranitar, in which case it will be a better choice than Machamp. But it does have much lower defensive stats, so keep that in mind. Blaziken is a fan favorite in Gen 3, so if you like Blaziken, you can definitely use it. There's a lot of fighting types being added to the metagame in Gen 3. Anyway, Blaziken with Focus Blast. Not bad. That's it. Out of the 50 new Pokemon that we got, 4 are probably considered usable. I mean, they're all usable. Technically, they're all usable, but 4, I would say, are really worth investing in. Don't fall into the slacking trap. Now, here's a flashback to two-ish days ago, before I got here to this hotel room where the faucet is continuously leaking, and this is my workspace. Enjoy. Today's day 2 of Gen 3, and I am exhausted. Can you tell? I have to be out of this Airbnb in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna head over to stay with my family in Quezon City, and then we have some big plans for today. Big plans. Do you ever not remember if you've already worn something and then spend way too long smelling it to try to figure it out? I think it's clean. Oh. How do my clothes keep getting bigger and bigger? I guess it's time to expand. That didn't really work. Guess it's time to mix dirty clothes with clean clothes. What's up? How are you? Okay, before I call an Uber, there is a Ho-Oh raid right here. And I guess a group just finished, so I might not get lucky. But Ubers are notoriously slow to show up in the Philippines, so I'm gonna order the Uber, and then I'll wait here. And maybe a group will come by? The answer's no. This Uber got here quick.
1 hour later.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? Typical Manila. 13 kilometers to get here to my family's house in Quezon City. It took over an hour. At least I got a little bit of rest in the Uber. Now though, going to work and then getting in another Uber, aka taking another nap. When is that? Oh, my lens is so foggy. Alright. here we are. Let's see how this goes. We're gonna run across the street. Martin sussed it out already, and my lens is fogging up, but we know where to go. He spoke to some guards, and we shouldn't get kicked out here. There's also a Ho-Oh raid in the corner over there, but that might be difficult to get people to. And, ooh, Larvitar. Weather boosted Larvitar. And again, foggy lens. Yes, that is very, very wet. It's very, and foggy. All right, let's check it out. Weather boost, pretty decent. So as of right now, this lens is just not adjusting to the humidity. As of right now, it seems like the lowest possible IV for a weather boosted spawn is 4. 4 to 15. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it actually eliminates a lot of possible combinations and makes it over twice as likely to find a perfect IV Pokemon as a weather boosted spawn.
Would you guys want to have?
About this. Thank you guys all for coming. I appreciate it. We're just gonna take a group picture now. There's been lures going on this whole time, which is hard to take advantage of when I lost my Go Plus the first day here. Also a raid there. Probably won't have time for that one. But a level 4 raid. Hopefully we can stick around, and hopefully it's Absol.
Thank you guys all for
Right.
We're getting honked at. So we're just gonna take a walk through the park because this is a lot of Pokestops that I'd like to spin. Also, you know, one of the most popular spots to play, and actually in Manila proper for the first time on this trip. So that's a lot of XP. I'm putting the lucky egg on.
You're half a world away, but in my mind I whisper every single word you say, and before you sleep at night, you pray to me, you're a lucky star, you're singing satellite.
I have quite a few 2Ks hatching. Hopefully I can hatch my first Gen 3 Pokemon here. Oh yeah, Gulpin. I mean, I've hatched it. I mean, I caught a ton of them. 34 Gulpin candies, and that's not even good IVs. What else? What else do we have here? I'm done with those. Another one. What do you think? Another Gulpin. Okay.
Different one this time.
Gen 3 starters, 5k.
Last one. So Gulpin. Gulpin is the only Gen 3 Poke, and that's a legendary raid. You think, can we get to it?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I don't know.
One file.
You tell me.
One file, medyo masikip yung ano eh. Yung walkway.
One line.
One line lang, one line.
One line?
Next,
Tomorrow?
This is the Manila City Hall.
All right, we made it. We made it. We made it over here to the raid. This is like a really big group. So, Snorlax, Butterfree, Meowth. See, I'm getting a lot of rock recommended. Partly cloudy means rock is getting a 20% damage boost. So, I mean, on top of having 20 people with damage boosts, we're gonna go through this quickly. This might be the fastest Ho-Oh raid in history. All right. Stone Edge boosted by the weather. I haven't even, I'm still on my first Pokemon, and we're almost done. Here we go. First one finally goes down. And, well, should be done in a second. There it is. Didn't even get to get a Stone Edge off.
My third Pokemon came out just in case.
Okay.
Third Pokemon came out.
Easy one.
Let's see. 2144. Oh, that
21
is
days.
so bad. Not too stressed. It's bad. Anyone get a good one?
2204.
That's not bad. Oh. The circle does not stay set for me. I'm having a lot of trouble with Ho-Oh. Okay, cool. I got it. I'm surprised at that terrible throw. Terrible IVs.
Oh yeah!
We're gonna head back to the park now. Oh, here we go. It doesn't ever cool off out here. But I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I wish we could have got a couple more raids in. And honestly, I wish I could have spent more time with all of you individually. But with so many people, it's got to be quick. Next time. I'm back at the house now. Exhausted. It's like 9 o'clock and I'm going to bed right now. Getting behind on edits again. The Gen 3 rush. Whew. It's been intense. I'll see you guys tomorrow.